Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new Destiny video. Now, before we get into this video, I just wanted to let anyone know who didn't already know, there's a new Nightfalls trailer that's been released, and basically what it's all about is it's sort of rounding up all the info that's been released over the past few weeks, because there has been a lot of info, with all the live streams and all the updates, and just in case you haven't been keeping up fully up to date, you haven't had a chance to watch all the YouTube videos that have been uploaded by so many people, go click on the link in the description or stick around to the end of the video because there'll be an annotation at the end of the video to this awesome trailer because it really goes over everything quite well, and it's got some new gameplay stuff and some new weapon gameplay, and it's a really cool video. And I realize there'll be like a million breakdowns of it on YouTube, but I feel like it's a pretty self-explanatory video which goes over everything quite well on its own. So once again, link in the description, annotation at the end of the video, and I recommend you go check out because it's a really cool video. Now, the reason you're here. So in the Prison of Elders, there's going to be a load of new modifiers. So in Destiny, we're used to having modifiers like heroic, epic, Lightswitc, all the burns, you know, things that in the Nightfalls. In the Prison of Elders, they're introducing a load of new modifiers. So as you can see here, there's several different Prison of Elders modes. There's a base one, different challenges, and they're all different levels. They vary in light level. And in each of these modes, there's 5 rounds. In each of these rounds, there's several waves of enemies and different objectives you have to complete. You know, there's loads of new enemy weapons, new enemy abilities, but what's really going to throw you off is all the new modifiers. So as I've said, there's 5 rounds in each mode. Now each round the mod is going to change. There's 1 mod per round and the mod's going to change each round. So between rounds, when you finish a round, you're waiting for the next one to start. When that mod flashes up and you know which modifier is going to be for that round, you're going to have to sort of change up your playstyle a bit, maybe tweak your loadout, depending on what the mod is, because some of these mods are really interesting, and they're gonna really test you and kind of throw you off in a way, and they're really gonna make you think about how your loadout is and your playstyle a bit more. So here are the mods that we know about. So first off, small arms. This greatly increases damage from all primary weapons. Now we actually saw this one in the Prison of Elders stream. If I haven't actually seen the live stream of the Prison of Elders, I'll also leave a link to that in the description. You can watch the whole stream again on YouTube just in case you want to. So greatly increased damage to all primary weapons, so hand cannons, pulse rifle, every primary. Now it apparently doubles primary damage. Not sure if this is actually true, but that's quite a damage boost. So when this mod is active, you'll probably be wanting to use your primary a bit more than usual. So you want to use your best primaries when small arms is active to take full advantage of that damage boost. So for example, when small arms was active in the stream, you probably don't want to do what Professor Broman did and use Necrochasm. Probably not the best idea, not taking full advantage of the mod there. So interesting one, increased damage for primary weapons. Make sure you're running your best primaries when that mod is active and you should be quite successful. So next up, exposure. This greatly increases Guardian's shields, where your shields won't regenerate. So it's kind of similar to the beginning of the killing Crota at the end of the Crota raid, when it says Crota's presence prevents health regeneration. It's kind of similar to that, where when you get shot your health won't regenerate, but to make it a lot easier, your shields are buffed by quite a bit. Now we actually saw this one also in the live stream, and it does seem to be quite effective. It does seem to boost your shield by a good amount, but since you won't be regenerating health, you'll want to play, a bit more defensively, hang back a bit, use cover. And something you should know, like I said in Crota's End, when you're starting the final stage of the raid, i.e. killing Crota, your health doesn't regenerate when you get shot. But if you use Red Death in that first stage of killing Crota, every kill you get with Red Death gives you health back because of its special perk. So basically, the special Red Death perk overrides the Crota mod and allows your health to regen to full. Now this apparently won't be the case in the Prison of Elders. As you can see, I think it was Deej, I might have that wrong in the footage, but as you can see, he was using Red Death and his health wasn't regenerating. So I think because you're getting a buffed shield, they decided that Red Death shouldn't be active when exposure is on. So just so you know that, Red Death won't override this perk, which is a bit unfortunate since its namesake perk won't be active, but still a good weapon obviously, but just its perk won't be useful. But just so that you know that, when you're going in, Red Death perk won't be in use and won't regenerate your health. So moving on, next up, Grounded. Guardians take more damage when airborne. We didn't see this one actually in the stream, but it's pretty obvious what this does really. So if you're the type of person that sort of jumps and glides all over the place and kind of has your subclass tailored to jumping around a lot, you might want to switch up for a bit when Grounded is active, because not only like when you're in the air anyway, you're an easier target anyway, but when the mod is active, you're going to be taking a lot more damage, so you're going to lose health quicker. So it'll be interesting to see how much it actually affects your health. Once again, you'll have to like change up your playstyle maybe a bit and sort of change your subclass a bit to maybe tailor to a more ground-based playstyle. But once again, interesting mod, going to be very, very interesting to see how much it affects the gameplay. So next up, this one is bloody awesome, Brawler. This one boosts Guardian melee damage. So it's like Lightswitc from the Nightfalls, but instead it's for Guardians. Now this is going to be awesome because I'm sure most of us can agree that Lightswitc is one of the most infuriating mods. Just one punch from a captain or a dreg or a thrall and you're down and out pretty much when Lightswitc is active in the Nightfall. And Lightswitc has been, it's ended even the best of us. So when Brawler is active, I think we'll all be getting some much needed revenge on all those little dregs, all those little thrall that somehow managed to slip by our radar and end us with one swing of their swords. So we'll see how they like it when they're getting one hit with our knives and fists. So I'm really looking forward to Brawler. That's going to be really fun getting my revenge on those guys. Now, apparently Brawler boosts melee attack damage by 300%. Now, once again, I'm not sure if this is actually true, but to kind of put that into perspective, try to think back to before one of the patches when shotguns just weren't very strong in PvE. They were used loads in PvP, but they were not very used in PvE. It was more snipers and fusion rifles there. I remember when they got a damage boost of 100%, so they did 100% more damage, and how much more powerful they were in PvE activities. So imagine what melee attack is going to be when it's buffed by 300%. That's going to be stupidly strong, I think. I think all of us hunters can expect our knives to be extra sharp when that one's active. Once again, we don't actually know how much it will affect, but I'm hoping for super powerful melees on that, because once again, I need my revenge for those Nightfall Lightswitches. So next up, Catapult. Grenade recharge speed is greatly increased. Pretty self-explanatory. Basically, there's going to be a load more grenades being chucked around. Basically, your little grenade bar is going to go up quicker. So that's going to be really interesting to use with Sunsinger. When you activate that, your grenades are just going to recharge stupidly quickly. It's literally just going to be a constant stream of grenades. So if you Warlocks out there, that's going to be pretty crazy. So next up, kind of going the opposite way of Catapult, is Trickle. All Guardians' abilities recharge significantly slower, so your super bar, your grenade bar, and your melee bar, they're going to charge really slowly. Now this one was in fact in the stream, and it did seem to quite affect it by a bit. It seemed to be pretty damn slow that your grenades and your melee went up. I didn't really take much notice of the super, but it does seem to be pretty effective and does seem to slow down your melee, does seem to slow down all your abilities by quite a bit. So when Catapult is active, you're going to really have to make sure that every time you chuck a grenade or whenever you crack a Ward of Dawn, that it's going to be really put to use and really going to benefit your fire team, because you won't be getting another one for a while, so you really want to make sure it's going to be very useful. So I guess we'll see how much it actually affects things once we get our hands on House of Wolves and we get into the Prison Elders. So next up, this one's a pretty mysterious one, to be honest, Specialist. Now we actually don't know what this one is yet. Maybe by the time this video goes up, after I've recorded it all, maybe it'll be confirmed by then what it is by Bungie. But as of recording this video, we don't actually know what Specialist is. My personal expectations would be something to do with special weapons, since it is called Specialist. So maybe like damage buff to your special weapons, or like there'll be less drops for your primaries and heavies, so you'll have to use your special a lot more. Something along those lines. So moving swiftly on, Airborne. So essentially the opposite of Grounded. Guardians deal more damage when airborne. Now, I'm not sure how useful this one will actually be, in all honesty, since, like, especially for hunters, being accurate with your shots while double jumping is pretty hard to do. I'm pretty sure most of us can agree with that. You're not going to be shooting loads of guys when you're airborne, particularly as hunters, when you can't be as accurate. Maybe for like Titans and Warlocks this might be a little bit more, you know, useful. Like maybe, I guess, if you like chuck a grenade, like a fire grenade, and they're, you know, while you're in the air, and while they're burning, they take a bit more damage while you're floating around up there. I don't know how useful this one will be. Maybe it'll be a bit more useful for Titans and Warlocks once again, but I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see how useful it is once we get our hands on Prison Elders. So next up here, it should be noted that all elemental burns will be available as possible mods. So for example, in the stream, for one of the rounds, arc burn was activated as one of the mods. So like everyone switched to their arc weapons between the rounds. So once again, switching up your loadout, tweaking things, kind of changing your playstyle between rounds, all that jazz. That's going to be quite a big part of Prison of Elders, having to switch up your playstyle and really rethink your loadouts between rounds. So maybe we'll see more mods in the future, either for Prison of Elders or for future like game modes. Maybe these mods will be introduced into the Nightfalls pretty soon. That'll be pretty interesting actually, and I'm sure we'll be finding out what Specialist is very soon, so that'll be pretty interesting. So make sure you leave in a comment what you're most excited for, which mod you're most excited about experiencing. For me, it's definitely got to be Brawler, once again, getting my revenge for all those Nightfalls. And so yeah, let me know what your favourite mod is so far, what you're most looking forward to, and yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed. Be sure to share this with your friends, tell guys in your raid team about it maybe, sharing on social media, just anyone who wants to learn about the Prison of Elders that you know, be sure to let them know about this. Thanks for watching everyone, I hope to see you in my next video, which once again, will probably be a House of Wolves one, let's be honest here. So, I hope you've enjoyed, I hope to see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, take care everyone, bye bye for now.